now we'll go from Jennifer Soto's interview, and we can go back to it later. And if you haven't watched it, I would recommend watching it. It opens up a lot of eyes, even with all the interviews we've heard of her lying. You know, I still don't buy the story about him coming into the bedroom to walk the dog. Like, what? He just killed a little girl, and he's looking to get the hell out of there so he could pretend he's driving her to school. And she said it was like at about 8 o'clock in the morning, but at 7:45, he was throwing Madeline's backpack, her laptop, and the one crock into the dumpster. That was at 7:45. So he ran back in and to walk the dog. Did he ever walk the dog before? I think that is a total 100% bullshit story that I do not believe. So that part of the interview, ATS News, again, she's lying about the timeline. ATS News, you're 2 for 2 today. You're 100% correct. ATS News, if you could, I'm going to put this in the chat. I'm going to put the email address of Police Off the Cuff. And if you could, I'd like to have you on as a guest on the show in the future. So if you could email me your email to that address, policeoffthecuff1@gmail.com. I would love to, if you guys don't know, ATS News has their own podcast, and I would like to have you on in the future if you'd like to. Anyway, just email me your information to policeoffthecuff1@gmail. So let's get back to Stefon Sterns' interview. So they're sitting around now, these two big burly detectives. And this is where I sort of laugh, because all you guys are like, why doesn't he lean over and slap Stefon Sterns right in the face? Well, you know, I find that amusing because that's not the goal of the police. The police are not supposed to mete out punishment. And if the police did that, Cat H from the chat, yes, second crock was in Jen's room. And if I hear that joke ever again, we had this joke about Crocs. You wear Crocs and socks. How is that even a joke? That's not even funny. But he said it a million times. Yes, the joke. She wears Crocs and socks. I was like, oh my God, I want to kill this guy, right? Anyway, so he's being interviewed by these detectives, right? And he's not giving them any information. He's really with his arms folded. He's really whiny too. He's like, yes, you know, he's that whole act he goes into, you know. And at some point, the detective breaks it to him very subtly. You know, you didn't factory reset your phone. Do you know that the phone re-upped and re-downloaded all those images that you had on your phone? And we recovered all of them. And he looks at him, and all of a sudden he says, you know, should I be talking to an attorney? And the detective said what every good detective would say is like, well, do you think you need an attorney? Do you want to speak to an attorney? Yeah, I think I need an attorney, you know. And then, of course, this whole interview is kicked up to a different level, right? Because now they have to tell Stefon Sterns, well, Stefon, guess what? You're not free to leave. You realize that now, right? Yes, I do. So that's when they broke it to him. He was under arrest. But he was not arrested at that point for the murder of Madeline Soto. He was arrested for all those horrific images on his phone. That was what he was arrested for. And then some very interesting things start to happen, right? And probably not playable for YouTube. I don't know what YouTube will do with that, but they start photographing his body. And many of you may ask, well, why are they doing that? Well, because they're comparing things they saw in these images with scars, marks on his body that they can match up, they can match up to the photographs they had. And just take it from me, these were very intimate photographs. I don't want to draw a picture of it. The detectives and the department photographer, where that was a detective from the crime scene unit taking pictures of his body. Krista Marie, his hands had a bunch of scratches. Absolutely, I believe those were defense. Well, that was as a result of, here I have a picture of it. That was what his left hand looked like. That was probably Madeline fighting back from being strangled from this perpetrator, Stefon Sterns. So now they start photographing Stefan, and his clothes are taken from him. And he's put in a Tyvek suit. And he has his hands cuffed behind his back with no shirt on. He's in a Tyvek suit. These are after they took the photographs that they needed to compare. Because when they take this case to trial, what is a good defense attorney going to say? Oh, that's not my client. That's not him. Oh, really? Well, we have pictures of these parts of his anatomy. And we took pictures, and these are the pictures we took on February 29th. And these are the pictures that were on his phone. They match, don't they? It's the same man, isn't it? And then, of course, they did a crime scene at the condo, especially guest room number 4. These are the pictures on his cell phone, these bad photos. And here is guest room number 4. So they match, don't they, counselor? So that is the type of evidentiary material they need to nail this guy for this first case, of course, which can put him in prison for life, right? Can absolutely put him in prison for life. So Wendy Williams, the lifting and moving around of the junk, get the flashlight, kill my soul, blah, wah, 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 Wendy Williams. Yeah, but Wendy, that evidence is so important, even though, we could, of course, make a joke out of it now, but when it's shown, photographic evidence, when it's shown to a jury and it matches, it's so powerful. And the images that apparently were on his phone were horrific. And the detective that interviewed Jennifer Soto didn't use the medical term for oral sex. He used the street term. And I won't say it because, again, I don't know if YouTube likes that. The medical term for oral sex, fellatio.